We're now going to jump into the software and show you how the equipment manager is used for equipment mapping. To open up the equipment manager, go to the equipment menu and select Manage Equipment. The left pane shows your equipment zones that have been created along with the Add and Delete buttons for creating and deleting zones. The font colors and styles shows zones that have various states. Black indicates no actions have been created for the zones, green indicates active zones, and italics gray indicates disabled zones. It is a best practice to prefix your zone names with building name if you have multiple buildings. When you select a zone, the top pane will show the parameters for that equipment item. Here's where you can edit the zone's pre-start and post-stop times. You can also disable the zone here. The equipment type is for grouping the equipment by the type of equipment it is. The groupings will show up in the equipment tree where you can sort by equipment type. They also show up in the reports. Below the top pane are tabs for the actions and room mappings. If you click on the Actions tab, you'll see a list of all the assigned actions for this equipment item. You can have one or many actions defined. Double-clicking the action will allow you to edit the action. Here you can see the triggering event, the interface that the action will travel across. If you have multiple interfaces, they'll show up here. In this case, we're using BACnet. And the action, the BACnet action that's being used, this is a two-state start-stop action. Below that is the parameters for the actual physical point object that you're going to send the commands to implement this action. Down at the bottom are tools and buttons to allow you to verify communications after you've defined the action. So I can click Verify to go out and read the BACnet object that I'm pointing to verify that it can talk successfully. I can also send a test start command and test stop command to do end-to-end testing from Events2HVAC to the physical device you're trying to control. I can send a start, then a stop, and verify the data as read by the BACnet object. Also, depending on which action you have, there might be other options here. This is for the BACnet device interface. There's also a browser for BACnet to allow you to browse for specific point objects and select, the item to copy and paste as you're building points. The next tab is the Rooms tab, and this is how you define room mappings from your event provider system to this zone. So right now I've got one zone connected to this VAV device. On the right side is all the available zones from, in this case, Dean Evans EMS event management system, and I can select one or many zones and move them over to either side to enable them. Once you have a zone selected for the equipment item, I can click the Events tab and see all the objects in play, all the schedules in play for the rooms selected. So these 3 events occurring today are booked confirmed events and will trigger the action as the events happen throughout the day. The History tab tells you a running history of the current active commands for this equipment item and what's expected for the next 24 hours. And this data can also be found in the command queue in the user interface, which we'll discuss in a later video.